it's all over, John Capobianco is still, he tells me, a real conservative. He joins me right now. Before I ask you to make a donation, please, so we can keep on the air, because we need, and then until the next election at least, we're going to need dispassionate, honest analysis. People know you're a conservative. That's fair. That's good. Now, tell me, what about the future of the Conservative Party as it stands now?
Well, I think the future of the Conservative Party is always going to be bright, and I'll tell you why.
You've lost 4 in a row.
We have survived much bigger losses, including the one where Kim Campbell was our Prime Minister. We got reduced to 2 seats, and everybody thought we were decimated. The Conservative Party, there is a strong Canadian base of Canadians who believe in the Conservative values and principles, and they believe in the party.
So what do you have to do?
Well, we're going to have to retune and reevaluate what our message, what messages worked, what messages didn't work. Obviously, the Trump factor factored into this election campaign more than ever before. And I think that, and people will criticize Pierre for not pivoting and not pivoting fast enough and sticking to the affordable message. But he's the kind of person that has always been consistent to his message. I've known Pierre for a long time. And whenever he says something and whenever he believes it, he is consistent to that. And he was on this affordability train from the very beginning, and he was going to stick to it because he fundamentally believed that Canada's finances were broken, the economy was broken, and that the only way they can fix it is by having him as Prime Minister focusing on the economy and focusing on affordability issues.
And Canadians disagreed. They agreed with what he said. The first part of the equation is that the economy was broken. It stinks. It was run by people who didn't know what they're doing and run by dogma. So, but they made the choice to have the other guy Prime Minister. Slim, but still the choice.
But I'd argue, though, Stephen, that having 41% of the popular vote, which I think is what Pierre got, to 42.3%, which is what the Liberals got, that is very close. So I wouldn't say that Canadians were disagreeing of his message. I think what happened was the NDP utterly collapsed and went to the Liberals because they didn't like Pierre Poilievre. But if that factor wasn't there, and the Liberals and the NDP got their normal teens percentages, Pierre Poilievre would have been Prime Minister today.
And, there's many, many people in history who could have been or would have been Prime Minister, should have been Prime Minister, and not. It's a very, very slippery pole to get out there. You and I both know that. So how is the results of this election going to impact the future of Canada in the sense of nation building? We have people in the West who are really cheesed off with this Liberal government.
Well, and I think to your point, I think Canada's becoming polarized now. You've got a 2-party system where you've got those who believe in the Liberals and those who believe in the Conservatives. NDP have now become irrelevant. And they've made themselves irrelevant, quite frankly, over the last number of years and what Jagmeet Singh has done. I like him as a person, but I'll tell you as a leader, as a political leader, he was a disaster because of what he's done to the NDP party.
Well, we've always had a 2-party system.
But as a result of that, well, we never have.
Until the 70s.
Yeah, but I do think, though, if Pierre decides to stick around, and I said it's up to him to decide that, if he decides to stick around, I think he's going to have to reevaluate where he wants to go and where his message is. Is it going to be about affordability still, or is he going to pivot and start focusing on what he thinks is necessary for growth in the economy in Canada and keep Carney, Prime Minister Carney, to account? Because I think he did an effective job with the Prime Minister Trudeau, former Prime Minister Trudeau, and can he do a job without having a seat in the Parliament to keep Carney honest?
You'll have to come back in a few weeks. We'll answer that one. John Capobianco, very much, very much. 3 minutes. To those of you who have subscribed and donated, a heartfelt thank you. You're keeping us on the air. If you're watching and you haven't, please try to do so, because 4 years ago we started this show because there needed to be independent analysis. Now more than ever, with the Online Harms Act, once that gets into law, it's been passed once by the House, there are going to be hundreds of bureaucrats censoring the news in Canada, censoring this show. We need to keep it on the air. Thanks for your support.